My son spent $3,000 on my credit card, refused to pay rent, and moved out. Now he's telling everyone we kicked him out. I'm a 47-year-old mom, married to my husband Mark, 49M. We have 2 kids, our daughter Emily, 17F, who's still in high school, and our son, Jake, 20M. This story is about Jake, who has recently decided that we're apparently the villains of his life story. Jake graduated high school 2 years ago. He didn't want to go to college, and that was fine with us. We're not the kind of parents who believe everyone has to go to college to be successful. But we told him he needed to do something. Work full-time, take a trade class, or at least make some kind of plan for his future. At the time, he was working part-time at a local grocery store, making decent money for a teenager, around $15 an hour. He wasn't paying for much, no rent, no utilities, no groceries, and no real responsibilities. So my husband and I sat him down and said, "Hey, starting this fall, we want you to start paying $500 a month in rent." We weren't actually going to keep the money. Our plan was to put it into a savings account for him, so that when he eventually moved out, he'd have a few thousand saved up as a nest egg. We thought it was a good way to teach him responsibility while still helping him financially. Jake wasn't thrilled. He complained that none of his friends had to pay rent and that we were greedy. We explained, repeatedly, that this wasn't about us needing money. It was about him learning that adulthood comes with bills. He agreed reluctantly, but looking back, I think he only said yes to get us off his back. Last summer, my husband and I went on a week-long cruise. We left Jake at home since he's an adult, and we trusted him to handle himself. I left my credit card with him for emergencies. I literally said, "If the water heater explodes or something breaks, you can use this to pay the plumber." I even left $100 cash for groceries and had food delivered before we left. We figured we were being pretty generous. When we got back, my stomach dropped. There were pages of charges on the credit card, over $3,000 worth. Designer clothes, restaurants, delivery food, concert tickets, even a charge at a vape shop. I confronted him the day after we returned. "Jake, what the hell is this?" I asked, holding up the statement. "What?" he said, playing dumb. "Don't what me? You spent $3,000 on my credit card. You knew that card was for emergencies only." "Yeah, well, I needed new clothes," he snapped. "And food. And gas. You left me here alone. What was I supposed to do?" I was floored. I reminded him that the fridge was full, that there was cash on the counter, and that none of those purchases were even close to an emergency. He rolled his eyes and said, "You're overreacting." Mark stepped in then, and the conversation went downhill fast. Jake ended up storming out of the house, slamming his bedroom door, and blasting music until midnight. We told him he needed to pay us back. He didn't. We also noticed that his rent payments were becoming sporadic. Some months, he'd hand us $200. Other months, nothing. We didn't press him too hard at first, but after the credit card stunt, our patience was running thin. By April this year, Mark and I sat him down again. "You owe us $3,000, Mark said calmly. "We're not expecting you to pay it all at once, but you need to pay back at least half, $1,500, within 3 months. Otherwise, you'll need to find your own place." Jake scoffed. "So you're threatening to kick me out if I don't pay you? That's so messed up. You're supposed to be my parents, not my landlords." I told him, "Jake, you're 20. You work. You live here rent-free most months. You've spent thousands of our money and haven't taken responsibility. We're not asking for much." He didn't respond. May went by. Nothing. June came. Still nothing. At that point, I asked him directly, "Are you looking for a new apartment? Because your deadline to pay us back is in a month." He exploded. "You know what? Forget it. I'm moving out. I don't need you guys." He stormed upstairs, slammed the door, and the next morning, he and his girlfriend, who had basically been living with us rent-free too, were gone. No goodbye, no explanation. Just vanished. They came back a week later, briefly, to grab his PlayStation and some clothes. He didn't look at us. Didn't say a word. Just walked past me like I didn't exist. That was in July. Since then, he's barely spoken to us. I'll admit, part of me feels guilty. I keep replaying it in my head. Did we push too hard? Were we too strict? But then I remember the facts. We gave him every opportunity to be responsible. We didn't kick him out immediately. We gave him months to pay us back or start looking for his own place. We weren't cruel. We were trying to teach him accountability. And yet, somehow, we're the villains in his version of the story. I found out through my sister that Jake has been telling everyone that we kicked him out with no warning, that we're cold and controlling, and that we chose money over family. Hearing that broke my heart. I can accept that, technically. Yes, we told him he had to move out if he didn't pay us back. But we also gave him every possible chance to make it right. He chose to leave. Still, I keep wondering, was this the moment we lost him for good? My husband's stance is firm. He made his bed. Now he has to lie in it, he says. We've enabled him long enough. My daughter, Emily, is more torn. She misses her brother, but says she's tired of watching him treat us like garbage. "He's been taking advantage of you for years, Mom," she told me one night. "He never does anything around the house. He smokes weed all day, and he blames you for everything." My parents, on the other hand, think we were too harsh. My mom said, "He's only 20. You can't expect him to have it all figured out." You should have just written off the money as a lesson learned. But $3,000 isn't pocket change to us. And more than the money, it's the principle. What kind of adult would he become if he never learned consequences? Some of Jake's old friends have even reached out to me. A few said they've heard his side, that he's homeless because we kicked him out, and that we chose money over family. It's humiliating. I've tried texting him a few times since he left, just checking in. Hey, hope you're okay, or do you need anything? He barely responds. When he does, it's one-word replies. He still has our family phone plan, and we're still paying it because, ironically, canceling his line would cost more. We did stop paying his car insurance, though. I also signed the car over to him when he left, so at least that's not on us anymore. Looking back, I can see how our parenting may have contributed to this. We tried to give him freedom and trust, but maybe we didn't set firm enough boundaries early on. We wanted to help him, but maybe we helped too much. We gave him a safety net, and he used it as a trampoline. He's always been impulsive. He'll get a job, stick with it for a few months, then quit when he gets bored. He's had at least half a dozen jobs since turning 18. Fast food, construction, landscaping, retail. He makes anywhere from $15 to $22 an hour when he's working, but it's never steady. He's not a bad kid. He's funny, smart, and can be incredibly charming when he wants to be. But he has zero sense of accountability. It's always someone else's fault. And now, he's out there telling people that we kicked him out. Maybe, in a way, he's right. Maybe telling him he had to move out if he didn't pay us back was kicking him out. But what were we supposed to do? Just let him keep walking all over us? It's been 3 months since he left. I miss him, even though I'm angry. I keep hoping he'll come around, that someday he'll realize we weren't trying to punish him, we were trying to prepare him. But for now, I'm stuck wondering if we went too far. Did we actually kick him out, or did we just finally stop enabling him? So, AITA for telling my 20-year-old son he had to move out if he didn't pay us back the money he spent? Because right now, it feels like no matter what we did, we were going to lose either our money or our relationship with him. And I honestly don't know which loss hurts more. Update. I didn't expect so many people to respond, or to read thousands of comments dissecting our parenting choices. It was humbling, but also strangely comforting. Thank you to everyone who offered perspective, even the ones who disagreed with me. So, here's what's happened since I first posted. About a week after the post blew up, Jake finally texted me. It was short. Saw your Reddit post. Guess everyone knows I'm a screw-up now. My heart sank. I hadn't used his name, but clearly, word got around our extended family. I told him, Jake, I didn't post it to embarrass you. I was just trying to understand what went wrong. He didn't reply that night. But 2 days later, he called me for the first time in months. The call lasted about 10 minutes, and it was awkward. Lots of silence and half sentences, but it was something. He's currently renting a room with a friend from one of his old jobs. Apparently, the girlfriend he left with moved back to her parents' place after a big argument. He's working about 30 hours a week at a warehouse and says he's been trying to get his life together. He also admitted, quietly, that things were harder than he expected. He didn't realize how much food, rent, and bills cost. I didn't gloat, though I wanted to. I just said, I know it's hard, but you'll figure it out. We talked again last weekend, this time for nearly an hour. It wasn't emotional or dramatic, more like a small bridge being rebuilt. He asked how his sister was doing, and I told him she misses him. He even joked that he might come over for dinner, if Dad promises not to lecture me. Mark's still cautious. He said, I'll welcome him home for dinner, not for living here again. Fair enough. I don't think we're magically healed. There's still a lot of hurt on both sides, and I don't think I'll ever see that $3,000 again. But the silence has cracked, and for now, that's enough. I realized something important through all this. Sometimes being a parent means being the bad guy for a while. You don't always get gratitude right away. Sometimes you just plant the seeds and hope that, someday, they'll grow into understanding. So, that's where we are. We're not best friends again, but we're talking. And maybe that's the first real step toward fixing what broke.